So he has a coming up fight, and now he said, yeah, if UFC tell me fight Arman, I'll take it. But he has a fight coming up. I'm a backup for that fight. I'm gonna be ready if something happens, and I'm gonna stay active.
Arman Tsarukyan just dropped a nuclear bomb on the lightweight division. He didn't just pick a winner, he claimed Justin Gaethje has 0% chance of survival against Ilia Topuria. According to Arman, this entire matchup is a massive waste of time that only delays the inevitable. While fans are hyped for a legendary war, Tsarukyan sees a slaughter waiting to happen. He is not just talking trash from the sidelines, he is demanding the UFC put him in because he knows the result is already written in stone. Gaethje is walking into a trap, and Arman is ready to expose the truth before the first punch is even thrown. This isn't just a prediction, it's a total dismissal of an elite veteran's skills.
We are waiting for the Ilia versus Justin, and after that I'll fight them.
Oh, really? That's like kind of official?
Yeah. It's not official, but they say like that.
Okay, so you'll be the next in line once that fight happens.
Yeah, and I can fight with the winner, Oliveira and Holloway as well, because I don't want to wait too much. So if they offer me Oliveira or Holloway, I'll fight them, because I don't want to wait 1 year for the fight.
No, of course.
Maybe I'll transition to wrestling. Who knows?
Maybe if you don't get that title shot soon enough, we will see you full-time wrestling.
No. My sport is MMA. It's just side quest. I'm just come here, make it fun, make happy, make money. Just have fun, It's just no pressure. You go there, you win, you lose, nobody cares, It's just, I'm doing this for fun, and people think like, I'm not hungry and I'll get UFC belt and leave. No, guys, I'm here for a long time. I don't just wanna make money and like be UFC champion. I wanna be one of the best ever athlete, and to be the best in the MMA, to be the best in the wrestling, and to show everybody you can grapple, you can wrestle, and you can beat people. And if UFC let me box, I'll do box full time. So I can box, I can wrestle, I can...
The reasoning behind this bold claim is even more insulting to Gaethje's legacy. Arman insists that Ilia Topuria's boxing is on a level that Justin simply cannot comprehend. He believes Topuria won't just win a decision, he's going to put Gaethje's lights out in violent fashion. To Arman, the gap in technical striking is so wide that the fight shouldn't even be happening. He is tired of waiting for his turn while the UFC builds up what he calls a pointless spectacle. He believes the promotion is just burning daylight when the real fight is between him and the Spanish champion. The confidence is chilling because Arman is willing to bet his entire career on this exact outcome.
Dude, I love Justin. I'm a fan. I don't like this matchup for him.
Well, you know what? I mean, Justin knows what he's getting into, and it's hard to count that dude out. He's such an animal.
Yeah, he can land the shot, but...
And it's in the White House. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, but... That dude has the touch of death. Yeah. He has the touch of death.
And he's not a big guy. I've never seen him in person, but I was talking to somebody recently, and they said, no, he's 5'7",
He's small, man. He's not big.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a photo of me standing next to him when we did the podcast. We're standing next to each other. He's much smaller than me. And, bro, he puts people into the shadow realm.
Yeah.
It's just technique and confidence. His confidence is crazy. He had a victory party for the Oliveira fight the night before.
Drinking wine. I saw.
I don't think he was drinking wine. No? I think he was drinking water the night before, but he has drank wine in weigh-ins.
Yeah.
When he's getting ready to weigh in, the weight cut.
Arman isn't just sitting back and watching the chaos unfold from his couch. He has officially confirmed that he is prepared to step in as the backup fighter for this massive clash. If anything goes wrong, or if a last-minute injury occurs, Tsarukyan is ready to save the day and take what he believes is rightfully his. He is staying in peak condition, waiting for the moment the UFC realizes they need a real challenger. For him, being a backup isn't a chore. It's a strategic move to ensure he is the next man in line for the throne. He is gambling everything on the fact that he is the only person who can truly push Topuria to his limits and survive the storm.
Gaethje didn't look bad in the fight, but he also didn't look phenomenal.
I enjoyed the fight. As far as technique, it was more of like kind of a bar type fight. But, I mean, Gaethje dropped him like so many times, man. It was crazy.
And
I enjoyed watching that fight. That was really good.
I think Ilia does Gaethje even worse,
And dude, honestly, that's pretty fucking scary.
He doesn't.
I don't think
he doesn't. they're another level.
Yeah,
I've trained with Ilia plenty since like his first UFC fight. I was calling it back then. This guy's gonna be champ. I'm telling you, he's gonna beat the fucking brakes. He retires Homer Simpson that day in the fucking cage. He'll never come back into fighting that dude.
Fuck.
I mean, Homer Simpson's gonna fucking. He's not walking.
There is a secret deal brewing behind the scenes that could change everything for the lightweight division. Arman revealed that the UFC has already mapped out his next move, indicating he is set to face the winner of Topuria versus Gaethje. While it is not a signed contract yet, he says the promotion has given him the green light. He is waiting on the result with the expectation that he is the undisputed #1 contender. However, Arman is not a man who likes to wait. He stated that if the title shot takes too long, he is willing to fight Charles Oliveira or Dan Hooker just to stay active. He refuses to let his prime years waste away while others play for the belt.
На твой взгляд, сейчас самый справедливый бой за чемпионство в легком весе между кем? Между Ильей Топурией и Арманом Царукяном?
Ну да, конечно. Если кто-то когда-то, не знаю, в истории страховал бой, делал вес, он всегда дрался почти. Ну, я не помню в истории, чтобы не давали бой. Арман сделал последний турнир вес, подстраховал бой. Я думаю, он должен быть следующий. Он доказал, что у него же была проблема с весогонкой. Он доказал, что может спускаться, гонять вес. И я думаю, что это самый актуальный бой на данный момент.
У кого было бы больше всего шансов на победу?
Ну, я думаю, если честно, если Арман выйдет с правильным настроем, то он справится.
Joe Rogan is also weighing in, and his assessment of the situation is equally terrifying for Justin Gaethje. Rogan cautioned that despite Topuria being the smaller man, his skill and accuracy make him an apex predator in the cage. He specifically mentioned that Topuria possesses what he calls the touch of death. It is that rare, explosive power that can end a fight in a split second, regardless of how tough the opponent is. Rogan loves Gaethje and respects his animalistic nature, but he admits this is a nightmare matchup. He warned that taking Ilia lightly would be the biggest mistake of Gaethje's career. The danger is real, and the margin for error is non-existent.
Давай предположим, что все случилось, Царукян с Топурией дерутся. Ты кого видишь фаворитом в этом бою?
Я не вижу шансов у Топури.
То есть ты считаешь, что Арман нападает, да?
Тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется с ударниками. Держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. И сейчас уже Арман слишком хорошо. У него есть материал, который он может посмотреть и хорошо изучить. Если 3 боя назад, если он с ним дрался, может, он не так опасался. Но сейчас уже видно то, чего можно опасаться от Топури. Я считаю, что в данный момент лучший боец в легком весе это Топури.
Ты про Царукяна?
The physical presence of Topuria is often deceptive, which is exactly why he is so dangerous. Rogan pointed out that while Ilia stands at only 5'7", his confidence is larger than life. He isn't a massive lightweight, yet he puts world-class athletes into the shadow realm with ease. It is a combination of perfect technique and a psychological edge that most fighters never achieve. Rogan even shared a story about Topuria having a victory party with wine the night before his biggest fights. Whether it was water or wine, the message was clear. He already knew he had won. That level of self-assurance is what makes him a different kind of monster in the octagon.
Arman Tsarukyan confirmed he's prepared to step in if anything disrupts the Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje clash, and he will be available as a backup fighter.
But it isn't just the striking that should have Gaethje worried. Rogan revealed a shocking detail about Topuria's grappling that many fans overlook. He watched a video of Ilia grappling with the bantamweight machine Merab Dvalishvili, and the results were stunning. Topuria was reportedly all over him, matching the relentless pace and technicality of one of the best wrestlers in the sport. This suggests that if the fight goes to the floor, Gaethje might be in even more trouble than he realizes. Topuria is a complete martial artist who can finish the fight in every facet, making him a puzzle that nobody has been able to solve yet.
Makhachev suggested that the lightweight division's next big clash should be between Topuria and Tsarukyan. He highlighted Arman's consistent performances and elite skill set.
Daniel Cormier is sending out a massive red alert to his friend Justin Gaethje. He emphasized that engaging in wild center-of-the-cage exchanges would be a suicidal strategy against Topuria. We saw what happened when Gaethje and Max Holloway threw caution to the wind, but DC insists you cannot do that with Ilia. The power he carries is too consistent and too accurate. Cormier pointed out how Topuria finished Volkanovski, hitting him multiple times before he even touched the canvas. It was a clinical execution that showed no mercy. If Gaethje tries to turn this into a bar fight, he might find himself waking up before the referee even has a chance to intervene. The violence Topuria brings isn't just about the first punch, it's about the follow-up. Cormier described the way Ilia jumps on his opponents like a predator the moment they show a hint of weakness. When he fought Volkanovski, he didn't just land a right hand. He followed it with an uppercut and another shot while his opponent was falling. It is a level of finishing instinct that is rare even at the highest levels of the UFC. DC believes that if Gaethje doesn't stay disciplined and active, he will be just another highlight on Topuria's reel. The speed and transition from the feet to the finish are what set the champion apart from everyone else. Jorge Masvidal took the criticism a step further, making a prediction that will haunt Gaethje fans. He suggested that Topuria's dominance could be so overwhelming that it marks the end of Justin's career entirely. Masvidal has trained with Ilia and seen his growth since his first year in the UFC. He claims the guy is on another level and will retire Gaethje like a character in a cartoon. He used a brutal analogy, saying Ilia would leave him unable to walk around with a normal life. It is a dark outlook on a fight that many expect to be a classic. Masvidal is convinced that the skill gap is too large to bridge and the physical toll will be permanent. The MMA guru echoed some of these sentiments, but with a cynical twist regarding the promotion's politics. He noted that while fans want to see an American star like Gaethje shine, the reality is that Topuria has the tools to ruin the party. He suggested that if Topuria pulls off a dominant finish in a high-stakes environment, it will be pure cinema for the international market. However, he also criticized the undercard, implying that the UFC is relying heavily on the main event to carry the weight of the show. If Gaethje falls, the narrative of the all-American hero will crumble, leaving Topuria as the undisputed king of the mountain with no rival in sight. Even the lightweight king Islam Makhachev has weighed in, but his focus is on the champion's behavior. Islam criticized Topuria for seemingly dodging a fight with Arman Tsarukyan. He pointed out that Ilia has been making noise on the internet about retiring rather than facing a legitimate threat like Arman. Makhachev praised Tsarukyan's recent streak, labeling him the most dangerous contender in the division right now. He believes that by pursuing Gaethje, Topuria is looking for a big name rather than the toughest challenge. To Islam, the real test of a champion is facing the man everyone is afraid of, and right now, that man is Arman. The tension between Topuria and Tsarukyan is reaching a boiling point. Arman claimed that he has seen the champion running away from the challenge in real time. There is a battle happening on social media where Topuria is allegedly making excuses to avoid the matchup. Arman is frustrated because he feels he has done everything necessary to earn his shot, yet he sees waste-of-time fights being booked instead. He believes the champion knows that his wrestling and pressure would be the ultimate kryptonite. For Arman, it isn't just about the belt. It is about proving that the hype surrounding Topuria is a carefully constructed illusion that he can break. The legendary Khabib Nurmagomedov has also given his nod of approval to Arman's growth. Khabib believes that Tsarukyan has evolved into a complete fighter with precise distance management and striking versatility. When the greatest of all time acknowledges your skills, the world takes notice. Khabib's coach Javier Mendez also identified Arman as the toughest hurdle for Topuria. Mendez expects Arman to lean heavily on his wrestling and constant pressure rather than trying to outbox the champion. He believes this approach would push Topuria into unfamiliar territory, forcing him to fight off his back for the first time in his professional career. The strategy for beating Topuria seems to be a consensus among the elite. Make it a grappling war of attrition. Mendez questioned whether Ilia can survive a continuous ground attack from someone as relentless as Arman. We saw what he did to Charles Oliveira, switching positions in mid-air and neutralizing a world-class submission artist. If Arman can replicate that against Topuria, the striking advantage of the champion becomes irrelevant. This is the test that fans are dying to see, but it's the one the UFC seems hesitant to book. It is a high-risk, low-reward scenario for a champion who is currently being marketed as an unstoppable force. In the middle of all this title talk, Arman is still finding time to fire shots at other big names. He recently took a massive dig at Colby Covington, claiming that even an influencer like Dylan Dennis could give Colby trouble. Arman mocked Colby's wrestling credentials, suggesting that he is scared of real competition like Khabib. The bad blood between them is palpable, and Arman seems eager to prove his dominance in any arena. He challenged Colby to a wrestling match, dismissing him as a fighter who only picks on smaller guys. This side of Arman shows a hungry athlete who is willing to take on anyone to prove he is the best in the world. The beef with Colby didn't stop at wrestling. Arman attacked Colby's lifestyle, claiming he spends more time drinking beer and lying on the beach than training. He mocked Colby's physique, saying he has no six-pack and poor cardio. Arman's confidence is so high that he offered to wrestle anyone, regardless of weight class, just to show his level. He feels that fighters like Colby are holding up the sport with politics and talk, while real athletes are waiting for their chance to shine. It is a refreshing, albeit aggressive take on the current state of the UFC, where personality often outweighs performance in the eyes of the casual audience. However, Colby Covington has his own theory about why Arman is currently on the sidelines. He suggested that the UFC is icing Tsarukyan as punishment for turning down a short-notice title fight in the past. According to Colby, the promotion doesn't give you a choice. You either act as a company man or you get frozen out. He claims that Hunter Campbell and the UFC brass are making Arman sit out to teach him a lesson about loyalty. This political maneuvering is a dark side of the business that many fighters struggle to navigate. If Colby is right, Arman's path to the gold might be much longer and more difficult than he originally anticipated. Sean O'Malley also chimed in with a perspective that supports the idea of protection. He suggested the UFC might be avoiding the Topuria versus Tsarukyan matchup because they love Ilia as a champion. O'Malley believes Topuria is a great face for the promotion, and they aren't in a hurry to see him lose his belt to a grinding wrestler like Arman. He acknowledged that Tsarukyan has a legitimate chance of winning, which makes him a dangerous spoiler for the UFC's long-term plans. If the promotion wants to build a superstar, they need him to keep winning, and Arman is the biggest threat to that narrative at 155 pounds. Luke Rockhold added another layer to the technical breakdown, focusing on the mat work. He believes Arman's elite grappling would be a nightmare for Topuria because we haven't truly seen the champion tested in deep waters. While Ilia is good everywhere, Arman is elite in the specific areas that neutralize strikers. Rockhold questioned how Topuria would react when his power doesn't end the fight in the first round and he's forced to carry the weight of a world-class wrestler. It is a question that remains unanswered, and until Topuria faces a guy like Arman, the doubts about his invincibility will continue to linger among the hardcore fans. Despite all the warnings from Rogan, DC, and Masvidal, Justin Gaethje remains one of the most dangerous men on the planet. He is an animal who knows exactly what he is walking into, but as the voices of the elite grow louder, the consensus is shifting. The narrative is no longer about whether Gaethje can land a lucky shot, it is about whether anyone can survive the technical brilliance of Topuria. Arman Tsarukyan is betting that he is the only one, and he is willing to wait in the shadows until the UFC has no choice but to give him the call. The tension is building, and the fallout from this fight will shake the division to its core. The landscape of the UFC is shifting, and the era of the old guard might be coming to a violent end. Whether it's Topuria's clinical striking or Arman's relentless grappling, the lightweight division is heading toward a collision course that will redefine greatness. Gaethje may be a legend, but the new breed is no longer asking for permission to take over. They are demanding it through public callouts and absolute dominance in the cage. As the smoke clears from the Topuria and Gaethje saga, only one question remains. Can anyone actually stop the momentum of these young lions? The answer might change the history of the sport forever.